Greetings, I'm Byron Garrett, CEO of Genesys Works, and today we're having another amazing conversation with a former student, an alumni, and she's currently a board member, so that technically makes her my boss. Please welcome to the conversation, Michelle.
Thank you for having me, Byron.
Thank you for making the time. I'm just curious, we just left a board meeting earlier and I'm still transitioning and getting settled, but the big question I like to ask people is, why Genesys Works?
There's so much that comes to mind. Well, I'm a student. I participated in Genesys Works 10 years ago. This year marks my 10th year graduating
happy
from the program.
anniversary.
Which, thank you. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. Genesys Works launched my career. It introduced me to a world of technology that I wasn't really preview to, specifically in construction. So my family, I have a lot of family members that are in this industry, but I was always just preview to the physical labor portion of it. And Genesys Works introduced me to the digital side, to the same industry that employs my family.
Right.
And so it was a big opportunity for me to learn about an industry that I was kind of familiar with, but from a completely different lens.
Yeah.
And it led into a full-time job, and it led into multiple jobs after that. And so that first Genesys Works internship through the alumni program really jump-started that career for me, and it kind of has led to where I am now, and it's why I'm so involved in the program.
So what was your actual internship?
So as a high school student, I interned at Pete's Coffee. So I was part of the software quality assurance team.
Software quality assurance team. That's a
Yeah.
mouthful, especially for a high school
I
student.
didn't even know what that was.
Okay, and I'm not sure that I do, but I get it.
Yeah. So at the time, I tested the mobile app for Pete's, which then
okay.
got deployed. And so I was able to see it from when it was first developed, test
Yeah.
it, and then years later it got deployed, and you can download it now, and it's like I was part of that team that
That's
did that.
exactly
Yeah.
right. Wow. Now, and you're in Portland now, so you started the program because you were in the Bay for San Francisco.
Yes.
Now, what's life look like for you now in Portland?
Well, I love it. I graduated college, and I was able to move out of my family's house and move into a new city. And again, that's all due to, it kind of trickles back to that opportunity that Genesys Works offered me, and being able to put myself in a position where I was able to move out. I'm able to become independent outside of my family, and I get to visit home and go home every once in a while, so it works.
So do you think you'll move back to the Bay, or you think Portland's home just for now?
I think just for now. Eventually, probably go back to the Bay just because my family is there, and that's always been home, but I love Portland. I've been there for almost 5 years.
Wow. Now, was it a guidance counselor or a teacher or a friend? How did you actually hear about the program?
It was a teacher. So someone from the program came into my school, talked to them, and my teacher came to me and said, "Hey, this is a really cool thing. You might be interested." At the time, I didn't know what an internship was, and so I kind of saw it more of like a job. And I was looking for jobs because I wanted to support my family and myself. And I learned that it was paid, and so I was like, oh,
it's a win-win.
it's a job. Like, I just saw it as a job. Cool. Like, it's part-time. I get to still go to school and do this. Great hours. Like, I'm just going to do this. And then it completely just blew my mind as to what it actually was. And it became more than a job. It really did a lot for me.
And now I'm curious, and as a board member, you have an opportunity to look at things from a national standpoint, even though you kind of came or grew up in one of our program sites. There are 8 across the country for folks that need to know. How do you see the work now from where you sit, not only as an adult, but as an alum and a professional and college graduate? How does the world look, and how does that inform your perspective as a national board member?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of learning that I did just being on the board, because when you're a student, you kind of see the program as a resource, and you take all of the resources that you can. But I didn't really get a chance to understand what it actually meant from a actual business perspective. And so being on the board and seeing how we make decisions on the overall program level and learning about the different sites and how they're doing, it really broadened my perspective as to not only what the program does at an individual site level, like the Bay Area that I grew up in, but also just all of them. And, even when we talk about expansion, same thing. It's how that's all been such a great learning opportunity, just seeing all the work that goes into the research behind, okay, where do we go next, and how do we continue our impact? It's been very eye-opening and amazing to just be a part of
Now, I want you to look at the camera. This is always my favorite question. If you were trying to convince a corporation as to why they should make internships or seats or slots, as we call them, available to a student, what would you tell them? Why Genesys works in that
Ooh.
regard to a corporate partner?
It's an opportunity to change someone's life and allow someone to be part of your workforce. In my story, like because of Genesys Works, that internship converted into a full-time job. So I stayed with the company that I was an intern at as a full-time employee.
Wow.
I was able to develop my skill sets even more. And it was because of that. Had I not been at Genesys Works, that opportunity wouldn't have been there. And so I think it's an investment in a young person's life. It's an opportunity to change someone's entire trajectory, not only for them, but for their families. And, you know, I just got back from Italy. I took my parents to Italy.
Oh, what part?
I went to Rome, Venice, Milan, and Florence.
I'm up for adoption. You know, Italy is my favorite country. So listen, I next time you go.
Listen, and it's things like that, right? Like I was able to take my parents. My parents don't ever travel. And so to be in a position now that not only am I able to provide for myself, but for my family and give them some experiences that otherwise they wouldn't have, that's the investment. And I think that's something that's very important in the work that we do. And it's why I've been involved for so long, because I want to see and be part of that continued impact.
Wow. And we're going to leave it right there for this conversation. Thanks, Michelle, for joining us. And that's why Genesys works.
Thank you, Byron.